What's up folks, it's Rahul here from MySmartPrice, and today I have with me a very interesting handset for review. Known as the InFocus M2, this phone is made by a little known company called InFocus. Based out of Oregon in the USA, InFocus is mostly known for making projectors and large screen displays. Of late though, the company has ventured into the highly competitive smartphones market and in the process decided to enter India. The company will be mostly competing with other players in the mid to low range segment and has partnered with Chinese firm Foxconn. Targeted at consumers who wish to buy a low cost Android phone, the InFocus M2 is quite an interesting handset for the price of under Rs 5,000. The M2 is a very basic looking handset. Its design is reminiscent of several other low-cost handsets that you might have been used to seeing. The unit that we received for review came in black and looks quite unassuming at the start thanks to its diminutive size. The phone is also available in white. Compared to most newer handsets that you get today, the M2 feels small and easy to handle thanks to its size. For its size, the M2 feels a bit on the heavier side. The plastic, however, seems to be of good quality. Moving on to the specs of the device, the M2 gets a 4.2-inch 720p display, which is the prime reason the phone looks compact compared to the other behemoths that is available today in the market. The front fascia also houses the earpiece, the front 8-megapixel camera and a diffuser for taking selfies. At the bottom of the front fascia, we have 3 capacitive Android buttons. At the top of the phone, there is a single 3.5mm audio jack, while at the bottom there is the micro USB port for connectivity. On the right side there is the power wake up and sleep key, and the left are the volume rocker buttons. Moving on to the removable back panel, the M2 gets an 8-megapixel camera at the rear with LED flash. And yes, like you might have already noticed, the phone gets an 8-megapixel camera both at the front and the rear. The loudspeaker is also placed at the rear. The 2010 mAh battery, the dual SIM card slots as well as the memory card slots are all housed under the back panel. Once you power the phone on, you will be surprised at the sharpness and the overall display quality of the phone. The 720p resolution crammed into 4.2 inches of real estate translates into a PPI density of around 350. Rest assured, you will never feel this display is from a phone that sells for under Rs 5,000. The InFocus M2 is powered by a MediaTek MT6582 SoC that houses the quad-core ARM Cortex-A7 processor that runs at 1.3 GHz. This processor is mated to a Mali 400 GPU for graphics rendering. There is 1GB of RAM and 8GB of onboard storage. SD cards are supported for memory expansion. The InFocus M2 runs a custom version of Android 4.4.2 KitKat. While not heavily modded as the UI you might have seen on the likes of Xiaomi and Huawei, the in-life UI the phone runs is still markedly different from stock Android. There is no app drawer here as well, and all apps are arranged across several home screens. The home screens support widgets as well, and there are several widgets pre-installed. The home screens are highly customizable and there are a host of options to personalize your device, including folder support. The UI is generally zippy, but at times can lag thanks to the processor, which is well over a generation old. Another thing I have noticed is the fact that the default keyboard on the phone is problematic to use if you are used to larger screen phones or if you have large hands or fingers. The buttons at the bottom of the device are not lighted. Also, to invoke the multitasking menu, you will need to double tap the home button. In our benchmark test, the phone managed an Antutu score of 18,606, which is only slightly slower than what the Honor 4X managed. Unlike the 4X, however, we found that the phone was markedly sluggish at doing certain tasks, which is honestly expected from a handset that retails at this price bracket. Overall though, we were pretty happy with the performance of the device. The M2 was decent at playing games and we had no issues playing basic flight simulator applications, which is commendable. Rest assured, it would be also able to handle most common games without stutter. Moving on to the camera, the InFocus M2 gets an 8-megapixel front and back autofocus camera, which is amazing for a phone that costs less than Rs 5,000. The front camera even has a diffuser that lets you take selfies in low light. The main camera takes decent pictures and videos as well. Here are a few pictures taken in auto mode. The most amazing facet of the camera is the fact that it is capable of capturing Full HD videos. As you can see from the video samples, the quality is great for a phone that retails for this price. Note that there is no continuous autofocus and that you will have to touch focus the camera in video mode. Also, the videos are captured in 3GP format but at decent bit rates. As for the camera UI, the phone gets a very basic looking but decently equipped UI that has options to control various settings. There are options for panorama, beauty mode and live photo mode. In the settings menu, you can control the geotagging settings, exposure values, color effects, scene modes, white balance, image properties and anti-flicker settings. The photo settings menu has options for zero shutter delay, voice capture, face detection, smile shot, HDR, scene detection, self-timer and continuous shot. The settings to manage the ISO is strangely found at the bottom of the menu. In the video mode, we have settings for EIS, microphone on and off mode, audio mode, time-lapse videos and controls for changing the resolution of the videos. Overall, we were mighty impressed with the imaging capabilities of the M2. The InFocus M2 features an inbuilt video player that supports wide variety of formats. The phone is capable of playing back Full HD content without any issues. There is FM radio support as well with option to record live. The FM radio UI is pleasant looking and is very easy to use. Moving on to the music player, the M2 once again surprised us with a host of options they had thrown in. Initially, we tried music playback with the supplied earphones, which left us disappointed. Apart from suffering from a flat sound range, low volume levels and total lack of bass, the supplied headphones also suffered from the problem of falling off from the ears. They should be ideally replaced with your own better quality earphones. Even after you replace them, you will have to tinker around with the equalizer to squeeze the best out of the music player. The phone sounds mediocre with the default settings. However, once you tinker around with the equalizer, you will be able to enjoy music with great quality. For mellow tracks, you might want to invoke the voice enhancement feature, which makes a world of difference to the listening experience. It is hidden within the equalizer settings and is not easy to spot. Again, with a bit of tinkering, the M2 left us happy with its audio performance. On the connectivity front, the M2 is fairly well equipped. It supports Wi-Fi BGN, USB, GPS and Bluetooth. The 2010 mAh battery takes about 2 hours to charge from 0 to 100%. However, with constant usage, we found that the battery levels fell quite fast. In case you are a social media junkie and a power user, the phone will have a hard time lasting a full day. With moderate usage, you will be able to squeeze out a day's worth of battery life. We were initially skeptical about the InFocus M2 when we first heard of the device. However, after using the phone for an extended period of time, we are convinced that it is one of the best phones you can buy for an ultra low budget and can still expect great features. The Full HD recording capability, great display, above average music playback capability, and the great camera makes it very easy for us to recommend the InFocus M2 to you without hesitation. People with large hands and a penchant for large displays might want to stay away. The InFocus M2 is available on Snapdeal for a price of Rs 4,999. That was a detailed look at the InFocus M2. Let us know if you wish to know anything more about the device in the comment section below, and as always, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. This was Rahul Srinivas for MySmartPrice.com, and thanks for watching this video.